Good morning. I'm in trouble already. I was uniting with fellow people. Please join us in our entrance song called We Gather Here.
Microphone. There you go. Try it again.
There we go.
If you'd like to be in the Easter choir singing on Easter, you can sign up in the foyer. Raise your voice in song. Are you getting anything through the audio? All right. So, okay.
Sounds like it's working.
I don't know what to do. Should I keep talking?
It's working.
All right.
You can hear it.
We'll let them catch up. What?
Sounds like it's coming through.
Yeah, it sounds
It's coming
like
through here. It's not coming through online, I don't think. I said about the Easter choir. And now I want to tell you about the coffee house concert that's coming up on March 30th. This will be a coffee house that is celebrating the Eagles. So every single song is going to be by the Eagles. And
No pressure.
no pressure, though. No pressure. And it will be with everybody up here, plus Mike Jordan, who is a frequent guest here. And Mike Barrett. All right, 2 mics. Got it. All right, so that is on the 30th. Mark your calendar for that. And now I'd like to welcome everybody here in the sanctuary this morning. I'm glad you are here. Oh, but this is Joyful Noise first, as usual. And today we have our choir featured on special music, so we look forward to that. So it's time to ask if anybody's here for the first time and would like a welcome packet. If you are comfortable raising your hand and would like Ricky to give you a welcome packet, please do that now. Anybody would like a welcome packet? All right. And anybody online, if you'd like a welcome packet, please email May at admin@unityofstuart.org, and she would be delighted to send you a welcome packet. So, of course, give us your name and address. And in that packet, there is some information about our Unity Church and our larger Unity movement. There is a prayer intention / request form in there. There is also a form that if you take that and fill it out and bring it back to, I think it's Sonia on the welcome podium, she'll give you a gift, and that will put you on our email list. If you are here for the first time and you haven't taken a welcome packet and would like one, you can take one on the way out, and all that other information still applies. It's Potluck Sunday today, so we invite you to join us out in the kitchen and on the patio if you'd like to share in some refreshments. And what else? Most importantly, we'd like you all to know that Unity of Stuart is a welcoming, affirming, practical path of spirituality. Everyone is welcome here, everyone is celebrated here, and you honor us with your presence. So thank you for being here. Some more announcements. We have a lot of announcements today. Prayer chaplains on duty as always. Who's on duty today? Berta. Okay, double duty, choir and chaplain. And Roberta will be in the sanctuary in the seats after service. If you'd like some personal prayer, she would be honored to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. Otherwise, you could also send us an email, prayer@unityofstuart.org, and our silent Unity prayer line at the mothership outside of Kansas City is 816-969-2000. As always, Cheryl will lead Tuesday meditation live on Facebook. That's 10 a.m., live every Tuesday. And all of her meditations are on our Facebook page as well. And because I made an egregious error at our annual meeting, I would like to absolutely appreciate Cheryl Roby today for a variety of things. This Tuesday meditation that she has committed to doing every Tuesday and does. And she also has restarted Reiki, so she'll be in the sanctuary today after service if anybody would like some Reiki treatment. And finally, I have asked her, and she graciously said yes to presenting a workshop. And so I'll tell you more about that towards the end of the service. So would you join me in appreciating Cheryl? All right, and onward, you see that there are stuffed animals. That's the Reiki today. You see that there are stuffed animals in the seats, and here's what we do with our stuffed animals. And we haven't done this since 2019. We tried to do it in 2020, but of course, we all got shut down in the middle of March-ish. And so I had a whole contractor trash bag in my office filled with teddy bears that we began to collect in 2020. So that's most of what you see here. We got a little bit of a head start. And so you are invited every week. Well, you don't have to bring in a teddy bear every week, but every week in March we'll be collecting teddy bears or flying pigs and a lot of rabbits out now. And what we do is if you see a teddy bear or a stuffed animal next to you, is to pick it up, hug it, imbue it with your energy, with your love. And at the end of the month, I think we're going to have a representative from Hibiscus Children's Services, and they're going to come in and take them and have them at the ready for children who are experiencing challenges. So thank you for that. I'm so happy we get to do that again. And finally, for this set of announcements, I'll be doing our Unity Living in Unity class, which is basic Unity principles, history and philosophy. That's going to be 2 classes on Thursdays, April 6th and 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. And this class is necessary if you'd like to become a voting member of Unity of Stuart. So you don't have to become a voting member if you take the class, but you can just come and be with us and learn more about Unity. Today I'd like to dedicate our service to faith, but not just to some namby-pamby idea of faith. I'd like to dedicate our service today to the knowledge that the presence and power of Spirit is right here and right now in every single moment of our lives. and that's the foundation upon which we stand, and that's the foundation of an extraordinary life. Faith in God, faith in Spirit, faith in the divine, all interchangeable words, and so that we know that we do indeed in every moment walk by faith. I am a radiant, triumphant, glorious expression of the divine. I am a radiant, triumphant, glorious expression of the divine. How do you think of yourself? If you consider yourself whole, free, capable, and loving, then well done. Keep up the good work. If, however, you see yourself as inferior, incompetent, unlovable, even unemployable, then this is your day of enlightenment and new self-appraisal. Open your thoughts to the truth of who you are. Let your mind be illumined with the light of spiritual understanding. If thoughts of failure, worthlessness, limitation, or aimlessness have dominated your thinking, this is your day for new self-awareness. Have faith in the knowing that you are endowed with God qualities, that you are whole, free, worthy, and beloved. You are a radiant, triumphant, glorious expression of the divine. This is the truth about you. And let's take that into prayer right here and right now as we settle in. Taking a deep breath and being open and receptive and responsive to the blessings that are here today. The blessings of love, the blessings of connection, the blessings of music, the blessings of sharing spiritual principle as we know this truth. I am a radiant, triumphant, glorious expression of the divine. And so it is. Amen. All right, let's do that groundwork and anchor that affirmation by repeating it with me together. I am a radiant, triumphant, glorious expression of the divine. And as we do, let's breathe that in and let it anchor, whether it feels true or not right now. I invite you to let it be as true as you can. And affirm it one more time together. I am a radiant, triumphant, glorious expression of the divine. And as we're getting ready for prayerful meditation, let's sing. And we breathe deeply, consciously. And if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Dropping your shoulders. Dropping any baggage that you may have come in with. Allowing God to be God in you, right here and right now. And each subsequent breath, as your breath returns to its natural rhythm, just continue releasing and letting go all of the activity of this morning, all the experiences of this past week. Let go of any judgments, any concerns, any self-doubt. Let go of any circumstance that seems too great. Breathe. Let go. And be here now. Knowing that the Holy Spirit moves in and through us, calming us and bringing us to spiritual rest. We open to the divine. And as we move deeper into prayerful meditation, I invite you to allow the words you hear to become the words of your own mind and heart. I turn my whole heart to the presence of God within me and all around me. And I let go and I let God be God in me. Flooding my body, my mind, my emotions with serenity and strength. My heart is open. In this sacred space, I open my whole being to divine wisdom. All of my thinking is guided and informed by Spirit. All of my actions, all of my words spring from divine wisdom. Letting go and letting God, my faith is deepened. My capacity for love is expanded. And I know the truth that I am connected to all life. I behold the world through the lens of faith, a deep, grounded, mighty faith. I behold the world through this lens of faith, in the quiet. And as we have co-created this sacred space of letting go and letting God, I invite you to bring into your awareness all of those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stuart and all of those that are in our minds and hearts this morning. And if you'd like to just whisper their names out into this holy space, now's the time. And turning all of this over into the care and keeping of God, I invite you to join me in praying this in the name and the nature, the light, the love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing. nailed it. That was beautiful. I've got to say hi to those of you who are online. I got a little turned around with the audio stuff. So good morning, Carol. Hey, Barb. Susan from Vermont. Jen Erickson, who is usually up here with us, has just had a shoulder surgery. So she'll be out for a little while, but as usual, she is online. And we have Judy in Albuquerque, Judy Gaskin. Hey, Jude, how's it going? All right, on YouTube, so we probably have Lana and Jess and Phil and Ellen and perhaps Pam. So welcome, everybody. We're glad you're here. So join me on memory lane for a few moments, if you would. Back to 2012, when the Mayan calendar was thought to be ending. Does anybody remember that? The end of the world, right? And some folks believe that it was going to be the end of the world. So what we do know is that the world did not end in 2012, nor did it end on any other date that a myriad of people have predicted that the world was going to end. We're still here. We're still evolving, God willing. And one of my foundational beliefs is that there is a tipping point to enlightenment. There's a tipping point to world evolution that we're working on, an evolutionary shift that I think that if you're anything like me, and I think you might be since you're sitting here and you're watching this, that's a deep desire that we have, right? For the world to evolve and for people to be spiritually connected and spiritually evolved so that we can indeed have the world that works for everyone. So today and every Sunday this month, we're looking at ways to shift, ways of showing up in the world that will assist us in the individual and collective upward spiral, the upward evolution of our planet. Enlightenment. So today, we lay the groundwork. Oh, let me say something. If you looked at the bulletin, if you're looking at the bulletin right now or anything that you've seen online, I'm not doing any of that. I changed my mind on Friday, but the resources I was going to use was Dan Millman and some other stuff, different lesson titles. So this is the new lesson series. So we laid the groundwork, and we're going to do that again by doing another mini meditation to get us ready, okay? So I invite you one more time to close your eyes. Take those 3 deep breaths and settle in with an open mind and heart. And I invite you to hold yourself in the love and light of Spirit right now. No one else, just you. The love, the light of Spirit, of God, of the divine. And I invite you to know that your awareness of who you really are at depth is expanding. Right here, right now, you have a greater understanding of who you really are. You have a greater understanding of how life really works. You have an expanded consciousness, and you are living in harmony with the greater good that is always available. Just feel what that feels like, to be in harmony with blessing, to be in harmony with good. And from that perspective, I invite you to turn your attention to your outer life, your circumstances, your experiences, your situations, the world that you live in. What's going on in your life right now? Now I invite you to see the world that you desire to live in. First, for you personally, what is the desire of your heart? What kind of world do you want to live in personally? Get a good picture of it. Loving relationships, physical well-being, financially abundant, living on purpose. What does that look like for you? Now go back inside for a moment and notice how you're feeling about yourself. And now what does the larger world look like? Now that all of humanity has evolved, what does that look like? How do we relate to one another? What is it like when the entire world has evolved, has become enlightened? And rest in that for a few moments. And now I invite you to take another couple of deep breaths. Take a moment to reground yourself in this moment, in this room. And when you're ready, open your eyes. How many saw a better world? That's the way of it, right? That's the way of it. When we can get connected to spirit, when we can get connected to that energy of love and compassion and enlightenment, we tend to picture what could be, and it's positive. I can't imagine that anybody, as they were picturing the world that they want to live in, it was anything less than positive. So if you saw a better world, did you perhaps see that you may have had a hand in creating that better world? If you didn't see that, doesn't mean it's not true, because we all have a hand in creating that better world. And it begins right here, right now, in each one of us. There has never been a better time to be a catalyst for the enlightenment of humanity. I mean, I know that we can say that going back decades and century probably or more, that there's never been a better time for us to have a hand in enlightenment. And yet it still continues to be true that right now is the exact right moment to do this work, to be a stand in our world for an up level of consciousness, an up level of spiritual connection. So it's on you. How does that feel? A little scary, maybe? A little scary? That's okay. Don't be afraid. Be not afraid, our master teacher said. African mystic brother Ishmael Tete, T-E-T-T-E-H, said this: "If your goal does not cause you to shake in your boots, it is not big enough." Now, I don't think he means that we have to live our lives in fear, right? But rather that we are so much more than we think we are, and we can do so much more than we think we can. So we want our goals and our dreams to stretch us. We want them to be a little bit daunting so that we are stretched, so we can step into them. If it's not a little bit daunting, we're not stretching, maybe we are stressing, not stretching enough. Not for nothing. We're either part of humanity's solution or we're part of the problem. We're part of the problem. So I'm assuming that individually and collectively we want to be part of the solution, yeah? Yes. Yeah. So we're looking at the big picture, at our role. And I'm going to be using, for inspiration, 2 books, Evolutionary Enlightenment by Alan Cohen and Everyday Enlightenment by Dan Millman. Today we're pretty much focusing on Alan Cohen's work. So he writes this in his book: "The very desire to embark on a path of enlightenment is already the beginning of enlightenment, because the path and the goal are one." Truth is, once we have a desire to step on the path, a conscious path of enlightenment, enlightenment is already activated. Just in the 5 or 10 minutes we've been in this room talking about this, you are already up-leveled in enlightenment. That's how it works. When we have an open mind and open heart and we allow Spirit to come in, Spirit does the work. Enlightenment is set in motion. And this is not about forcing anything to happen or, quote unquote, making something happen. It's not about getting on our knees and praying to a God outside of us to change the world. Myrtle Fillmore, one of our co-founders, said this: "Sometimes we pray to a God outside of ourselves. It is the God in the midst of us that frees and heals." She writes, "Prayers aren't sent out at all. Sometimes that's our trouble. Where would we be sending our prayers? As individuals, we should direct them to our own mind and heart and affairs. We commune with God mind with our consciousness. Prayer," she says, "is an exercise to change our own thought habits and our living habits, that we may set up a new and better activity in accord with divine law, rather than the suggestions we have received from various sources." We know that one, right? Let me ask my 12 closest friends what I should do next, right? Let me see what they think about my life, rather than going inward to spirit, to God consciousness, to God mind within us, and connecting with that divine wisdom to show us the way. We do not live in a world where there's a God out there that dangles a carrot in front of us and says, "Here, I want you to desire this, but no way you can experience it." It doesn't happen. There is no God like that. So we're going to talk about this conscious decision this month to walk the talk, to not just talk about our desire to evolve, but to actually walk the path of evolution and enlightenment. So Cohen talks about the 5 tenets of evolutionary enlightenment, and today we'll explore the first one. And it's clarity of intention. So, as truth students, which we call ourselves here in Unity, as students of New Thought spirituality, of progressive spirituality, we know the power of intention. We know the power of intention, and we know that we must be clear in our intention in order for it to show up. We can't set our intention and be distracted all over the place and expect the intention to manifest. We have to have clarity of intention. But not just any intention. He talks in the book about a clarity of a very, very specific intention, the intention to evolve. The intention to do what Spirit would have us do as we get conscious, as we wake up, as we get woke. Which really means, it has taken on a different meaning lately, but I'm part of the group of people that are, I'm part of the group of people who are taking back that word, because it simply means to be awake to justice in the world, to be awake to the injustices in the world. That's all it means. And other people would have it mean something else, and we know that what it means for us is that we're awake, and that we're waking up, that we're evolving. So we are interested, I hope, in becoming more conscious. So that's what we set our intention to do, to evolve, to expand our consciousness. So when we do that, our desire to evolve, when we set that intention, we sometimes will see, maybe for the first time, the difference between our authentic self, our spirit self, our God consciousness self, and our ego. And our ego will tell us to hesitate, to be afraid, a refusal to let go of the way things are or have been. So here's some signs that may suggest the ego's limited perspective and the desire to stay where you are rather than take steps to let your attention evolve. Number 1, being overly concerned about how you appear to others. So in just today's service, we had a sound issue, a couple of things. We were fooling around up here, and then I had the hair stuck in my mouth. I had to turn around, get the hair out of my mouth. Now, if I was overly conscious about what all y'all were thinking of me, I might be horribly embarrassed, but I've been doing this too long to recognize that nothing ever goes exactly perfectly in every moment. I'm going to wind that back. Sometimes things do go perfect in every moment, and sometimes they don't, and we need to get comfortable with the discomfort that comes from not being perfect, yeah? So sometimes we do and say things that we think will make people like us, right? We go along to get along. And this comes from a place where we don't think we're okay. We forget that we're already divine, whole, perfect in our imperfection, and already divine and glorious, as our daily word told us. So when we don't think we're that comes from a place of ego. Because we're not connected with our authentic self, the truth of who we are. When we get connected to that, we're not concerned. We're not concerned about other people's opinion. We know who we are, and we can stand firm in it. Remember, there was a title of this book, and I've heard this, and I didn't really even know that there was a title of a book years and years ago. What you think of me is none of my business. So that could be a guiding light. What you think of me is none of my business. So, what we'll be looking at next is a way for us to see when we're knocked off the clarity of our intention. And that is, number 2, you are easily offended. There's a powerful teaching by Dr. Wayne Dyer from his book, Authentic Self. And he wrote this: whenever you are offended, you are coming from a place of ego. Really, Chuck said. Seriously? Seriously? That's always, this is what Dr. Wayne Dyer says. Whenever we are offended, we are coming from a place of ego. Just like to chew that up a little bit. He says, the authentic self will absolutely discern and have preferences and will lovingly act on those preferences, but it will not be offended. So, if you're offended by anything, if you're holding resentment, you're not supporting your own evolution and the evolution of humankind. So, the human condition is that we get offended, right? The human condition is that we get offended, or we get embarrassed, we get resentful, we get defensive. And so the tool then is, as we're doing this everyday enlightenment and evolution, is to become aware of it. That's the first step. To become aware of when you're offended, of when you're triggered. And then do your work, breathing, getting back to center, self-talk, till you can get to that place of peace, that place of calmness. One of the tools that I've used in my life is never respond when I'm offended. Never respond when I'm offended or triggered. Step away a little while. Because you know what happens? What happens when you respond when you're offended? You say things you don't want to say. You say things that are very difficult to take back. Right? So be careful if you're offended by anything. Number 3, that gets in the way, you believe that your way is the right way. I don't even have to say anything. Oh, I see, okay, all right. I don't have to even say anything else about that. We know what that's like. We don't want to hear anybody else's opinion. No, it's my way or the highway, right? No, it is. Ethan said that. Those of us who tend to have control issues, you know who you are. Know all about this. Know all about this. So just stop it. I mean, seriously, just knock it off. When somebody has an idea, try to breathe. If somebody says, oh, maybe we should think about it this way, or maybe we can do this a different way, try not to take it personally, and just breathe into it and listen and discern. And don't just listen so you can say you listened. Listen and discern, and let divine wisdom come in to show you the way. Number 4, you're constantly comparing yourself to others. It's okay to be inspired by others. That's definitely okay to be inspired by others. But it's not okay to see yourself as less than. I've told this story before. I had a colleague, and have a colleague. Her name is Patricia Bass. I don't think you'll see this, but for Patricia, if somehow you do. She's one of the most graceful women I have ever met in my life. She is soft-spoken, she's very smart, and she just moves through the world with grace and ease, apparently. So, I'm a little different than that. So one time we were having lunch together, and I said, Patricia, I said, oh man, I so admire your grace and your ease and your, just grace was my word for her. And she says, and I said, I always want to be like you, Patricia. When I grow up, I want to be like you. And she says, when I grow up, I want to be like you. Powerful, assertive, can take a stand. And so comparing myself to Patricia comparing herself to me, you could say it's almost a good thing that we had that conversation, because I was able to back off that and say, oh, that's right, I have other gifts. I'm not the most graceful. I broke my toe jumping into a foam pit. So I'm certainly not graceful in that way, but I have other gifts. And that's the same for you. And anybody that you compare yourself with, they just have different gifts than you do. And don't make yourself wrong or less than because of it. Amen? Amen. All right. It's ego-driven, as I go back to my script here, to compare yourself to them and come up short. That's the ego talking, right? Our authentic self, our God self, will use them as examples, as beacons to lift you higher. Your ego will use it to tear you down. So, number 5, you dwell in low energy emotions. Does anybody know anybody like that? Always in a low energy emotion, such as anger, sadness, grief, depression, regret. We are all going to feel those things. Every single one of us are going to feel those things, maybe on a daily basis. But we don't have to dwell there. It's part of the human experience, but we don't have to stay there. When we're going through hell, don't stop and pitch a tent. Keep going. I mean, we've all been there, right? The difference is we can identify it, we can interrogate it when we're going through that. What's mine to do here? And we don't wallow. We don't stay there. We use the truth that we know, our unity 5th principle. We take action, use the truth we know to shift, to evolve, to become ever more enlightened. Get the lesson, get the blessing, and move on. So, those are 5 ways. Powerful ways for us to touch in and check in with ourselves to see if we've gotten off track. And then when we see that, we can lovingly and gently bring us back to balance, back to center, back to peace. Lovingly and gently. You know what the favorite thing not so favorite, but what I used to call myself all the time if I made a mistake? Stupid. Stupid, I would say, in my New Jersey accent. Stupid. I don't say that anymore. I say, oops, oops, or there, honey, it's okay. You'll do better next time. Yeah. Our master teacher, Jesus, said, ask, seek, and knock. Those are intentions. To ask, to seek, to knock. Our intentions on our intentions on our part. And when we do that, when we ask, when we seek, when we knock, the universe responds. Spirit responds. Spirit arranges. Right? We're not doing this in a vacuum. There is this arrangement, this ribbon of love, of light, of wisdom all around us. And all we have to do to connect with that is to get quiet. To set the intention, to be clear about what it is we want to bring into our lives. And Spirit responds. So, some of you may know that I am facilitating a racial healing book study. We have 2 more classes left. And this past Thursday night, one of our participants asked the question, do you really think there's going to be meaningful, I'm paraphrasing, do you really think there's going to be meaningful change in race relations and racial justice in our lifetime? When will things be truly equitable and equal? And of course, we can't know that. We can't know that. Will it happen in our lifetime? Well, I can hold that vision, and sometimes get discouraged and even despairing. But I remember this when I shared this with my class the other night. This is from Rabbi Tarfon, Tarphon. You are not required to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. That is the same for our personal evolution. We are not required to complete it. We are not allowed to abandon it. We got to keep going on. Keep watching for the change, not waiting for the change. That took me a really long time to learn the difference between waiting for something and watching for something. Waiting for something is rooted in hope. Watching for something is rooted in faith. When we're hoping for something, there's an undercurrent of anxiety, uncertainty, because we want it to happen, but we're just not sure it's going to happen. We just hope it's going to happen. We hope it's going to turn out the way that we want. But when we watch, it's about, I know this is coming. I know this is happening. When we commit to the process, when we have clarity of intention, we have been consistent, not perfect, but consistent, we can watch in faith for the outcome that we desire. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be next week, but we watch. Let's close by going back to how we started this morning. I invite you to close your eyes again and go back to that vision of you, of your personal world, of the larger world, the world that you desire, your personal world that you desire, and the larger world that you desire. Get an image of that again. And keeping your attention on Spirit, I invite you to commit this morning to the clarity of this intention to evolve in this way. And let us watch for it. From the words of Howard Thurman, in the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in fair weather or foul, in good times or in tempests, in the days when the darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, that I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. I affirm this prayer for each and every one of us. So when I was doing that last little image with you all, anybody remember Hands Across America? Who participated in Hands Across America? All right. I forget where I was living. What year was that? I don't really know if I was living in New Jersey or in Albuquerque, or I think it was New Jersey. Yeah, so New Jersey. So that's what I had envisioned, all the people wrapped around the planet holding hands. That was my vision. All right. It's time for our celebration of abundance, otherwise known as our love offering. And here are the ways that you can donate to Unity of Stuart online or at any point. And what did I want to say about that? These are the ways, obviously, that you can give to Stuart, to Unity of Stuart, to further the work that we do here. So let's standing on this foundation of unity, as the choir so beautifully sang earlier, let us circulate our love offerings and our tithes, knowing what a beautiful impact it makes as we support this spiritual community and the unity movement. So thank you for your continued love offerings and your gifts. Let's affirm our prosperity prayer and love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all the needs of Unity of Stuart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. And let's sing our gratitude. Second set of announcements. So this is Cheryl's. So if you were at the annual meeting, you heard me talk about my goal of having one workshop a month on the Sunday where we have potluck. So there's not one today, but on April 2nd, Cheryl Roby, our resident Reiki master and meditation teacher, is going to be offering this 2-hour workshop, Modern Stress, Ancient Cures. Practical, proven ways to choose calm over stress that can be done as little as 30 seconds to remove a sense of peace to your day, to restore a sense of peace to your day. Yoga postures, simple meditation, self-massage, and more. So that's a requested donation of $15. No one is ever turned away. And there is a sign-up sheet out there. Please sign up. So Cheryl's bringing materials. She'll have enough for everybody. And I don't know if I said that for the Living in Unity class. Please sign up because everybody gets a class manual for that class. Next, if you would like to serve on our welcome team, we lost Sylvie, who we didn't lose her. She moved north. And so she is no longer leading the welcome team. It's very easy. You don't have to lead it. But if you'd like to be on the welcome team and be the first smiling face that someone will see when they walk here, please sign up and we'll get back to you about that. And then finally, there's the beautiful Lori Michaud. And if you were at the annual meeting, you also heard us talking about the fact that we need a new roof. And we are getting desperately in need of a new roof. And so we're thinking about fundraising efforts to do that. And Lori has just generously offered to be the team captain for a gala that we'll have here in the church. We're calling it Raising the Roof. And if you would like to see what that's about, if you'd like to help put that together, because guess what? Many hands make light work, and this is not going to be for the faint of heart. So if you have some skills and would like to join Lori and me and other folks in helping put this together, we invite you to sign up. Lori and I are meeting next week. And then we'll get back to you about the way we're going to go. But please, some of you sign up to see if you can be of service there. We have not picked a date. We're not there. Yeah, this very beginning. And if there's not enough people that step up, we won't be able to do it. So that's why we're starting this early. We have kiddos in the hallway. Let's stand as we sing in the kids. excited while we chat with the kiddos. Everybody move over. So, yeah, you can move over right to here. Okay, awesome. All right, how's it going? Good. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share today? Did you want to share, Hunter? Maybe. All right, do you want me to see if anybody else wants to share first so you can think about it? All right, anybody? No? Okay, all right. It was a hard lesson today? What was the...
Today our lesson was principle 2. So we are all good and inherently and naturally good.
So principle 2 is
that we are all good. We are naturally and inherently good, all of us. Even those those people that we perceive that are presented as doing the bad thing, doing bad things. They're still good and they still have God in them and are deserving of love and worthy of blessing, and they are blessed. And so we are blessed by blessing them.
Why are they bad then? Why do they do the bad things if they're of God?
So maybe they are on the wrong path. Maybe they're working against the universe, doing things, making poor choices.
Maybe they forget who they are.
Yep, forget who they are. So we hold the space in our heart and just know that they are good. We know that they're good. We know that they are good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has a spark of divinity.
Yeah.
All right, so food fundraisers, Sunday support. If you'd like to help in any one of those things, please see Jen, and she'd be happy to tell you what you can do to help.
Yeah. Next one will be in April. We're skipping March because I'll be gone at Rally next week and scheduling wise.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if Hunter wants to say anything.
So we did that things do about their bodies, that they do everything that is good.
All right, thank you very much. Everything that is good. Awesome. Say your name.
My name's Daniel, and we drew an outline of our bodies,
Uh-huh.
and then we wrote good things about each other.
Nice. See? Nice. All right. Very nice. It's birthday Sunday, and I know, of course, we have Don Rao's birthday was the first. We have Lucky's birthday was yesterday. And anybody in the sanctuary, if you have a birthday in March, please stand so that we can sing to you. Happy Let's close with the prayer for protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Whoa, this little light of mine, well, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, well, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, now I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, now I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.